Hi everyone, I have about an hour before I need to be at my next appointment, and I wanted to get this photo sorting video up for you as soon as I could. So I'm going to film the start of the video now so I can edit it and hopefully have it up for you as soon as possible. In September, I started going through the photos on my phone. I had reached the point where I had just under 15,000 photos in my photo album on my phone, and 99% of our photos are taken from my iPhone. And as things had got busy, I had stopped sorting them. And all of a sudden I realized that if I lost my phone, or if my phone was to drop in a puddle of water, anything happened to my phone, that I would lose years worth of memories that I wouldn't be able to get back. And so I made it my goal to get to the point that I had 0 unsorted photos and videos on my iPhone. And I shared my process. I shared as I deleted the first 1,000, and then as I deleted another 3,000, and my goals along the way. And I showed you how I tackled it in small steps. So beginning in September, what I would do is, if I arrived to school pickup early, I would take the time to sort through some photos. If I was waiting for a doctor's appointment in the waiting room and I was on my own, I would sort through some more photos. And I just really took it slow and steady, but consistently went through and sorted them. And of course I needed to have a good system so that going into the future I can stay on top of them. I didn't want to find myself in the same position again. And I had a lot of people reach out and just ask what I did. Now, none of this is groundbreaking. It is just what made it easy for me, and I'm going to share that with you because I'm hoping that in sharing what worked best for me, that maybe it will help make things a little bit easier for you, a little bit more manageable, and that you too will find a system that where you can store those special memories, because we want them off our phones. And where possible, we want to be able to flick through photo books, and for the kids to enjoy the photos, and for us to be able to pass them on to other people. So over the next 12 to 15 minutes, you are going to see how I sorted through our photos. You're also going to see how I have been storing our videos, and I'm hoping that it helps someone out there. So here goes. I started with the app Gemini, which is the app you can see in the top left hand corner. You can trial the app for 3 days for free to see whether it's going to work for you. And a bonus is that you can delete a lot of photos in that 3 days by using this system. So I have used Gemini. When I started with the 15,000 photos, it was one of the first things I did, just to remove the bulk photos. So similar photos, duplicate photos, I'll show you how it works in a minute. Beyond that, if you would like to purchase the app, I think the pricing is in US dollars. It either costs $4.99 per month, $11.99 per year, or you can purchase it for $34.99 unlimited as a one-off purchase. Now, I don't have a lot of photos in my photo stream anymore because I have gone through and I am up to a 0 photo album on the phone, but I did load some photos onto the phone just to show you how this works. So there's duplicate photos on the phone right now, and there are also similar photos. I went and took these 4 photos towards the bottom of the screen of a tree at Mum and Dad's house, just to show you how Gemini works. So when you open the app, it will straight away show you all the similar photos together. So these 4 photos are not identical, but they are similar, and Gemini recommends which photo they believe is the clearest and the best version. You can click on it and scroll through and see whether you agree, and if you don't agree, you can actually uncheck photos that you do not want deleted. So in this instance, they have recommended that I keep the first photo and that I move the other 3 to trash, and I agree with them. So it's as easy as pressing that button. Again, 2 photos, I'm going to move the extra to trash. And we just keep going through just like this, nice and quickly. Like I showed you, you can scroll through if you just wanted to check that you agree with what they're recommending. And then duplicates will come up in this screen, videos will come up in this screen, and screenshots. And I had a lot of screenshots in my 15,000 photos, so I was able to go through the screenshots really easily in this space. I have taken a whole lot of photos, selfies in the one setting. Now, I don't normally do this. I'm doing it as an example for you, but normally what you would see would be a whole lot of photos of my boys in different settings. They might be playing at the park, and I have taken multiple photos just like what you can see on the screen. I wanted to show you what Gemini does with photos that are not identical but are in similar settings. So if I go out of here and into Gemini, they will actually group them together. So Gemini believes that these 4 photos are fairly similar, and they have recommended that this one here is the best photo out of the 4. And if I agree, I just move the other 3 to trash. Now, in this case here, they believe that this one is the best result, and that these are not as clear, or they don't believe they are centered as well. However, they determine how have they come up with this system. But if I disagreed and I thought to myself, you know what, I actually like, let's say, this photo the best, I can uncheck it. I can keep both, the best and the one I've checked, or I could just decide to move the others. Now, these photos have not actually been emptied from my camera roll yet. So I'll just show you, even though I've done that, they're still sitting in my camera roll. I actually need to empty the trash, and I actually have to allow them to delete it from my camera roll. So that is now going to delete the photos. And when I go back into my camera roll, it has just removed all the duplicates and all the similar photos. Now, these over here are just the screen recordings that I'm doing right now, putting together for this video. But you can see here they have removed all the duplicates in my photos. So now I can move on to the next step, where I am sorting my photos, not having multiple photos of the same thing, which means that the next step is going to be easier for me. I love putting photo books together and seeing the kids flick through the pages. I really wanted to move as many photos as I could from my phone to a hard copy album. And of course, I've put things into place so that if that hard copy album was ever damaged or removed from my home, I could get another copy of it. But for now, I'm just going to show you how I put layouts together. I use the Becky Higgins Project Life app, and I put together layouts using photos from the same day or the same week. So just as an example, I'm going to go through and just quickly show you how quickly I can do it now that I have been doing this for a while. Of course, when you just are starting out, it can take a bit of time to get used to what you need to do. But we choose which photos we want to put in here. Make sure that we are happy with what it looks like. Let's say these photos were all for February. So I'm going to do it like this. I then choose a card that I want to put in here. So I can go through and I could decide I just want to put that card in. I could also decide that I wanted to add text. So maybe I want something a little bit more simple. Something like this, where I can write text in. So I'll put photo sorting 2020 with Leanne. Hope this helps. And then I can do all sorts of things. So I can change the font, I can change the color. So I might prefer it to be like this. And I just make sure that I'm happy with what the layout looks like. Now, in this case, there are no family photos, but it is normally full of family photos, and I can journal in here what I want to write. And of course, you can fit a whole lot in. The smaller you make the text, the more you can fit in. And I think that you can't probably read that font as well as I'd like, so I'm going to leave it black in this instance, just so that I can actually read the font, which is important. So I could choose to put it at the bottom, she's put in the middle there, and I can do all sorts of things like I can decide my line spacing as well. So I might like it to be more spread apart or closer together. And then when I am happy with my layout, I save it. So press export, and I always choose 12 by 12. Even though I don't have my photo book saved as 12 by 12, I always export them as 12 by 12, so they are the biggest size. Okay, now in here I go through, I have albums set up in Dropbox, so I select Project Life 2020, and I don't have my February folder set up yet, so I'm just going to select January choose that album, and I will say that it was January 1st to January 3rd. Now this is how I code things into Dropbox so that I know the dates of the layouts I've created. So I'm going to say this layout was photos from January 1st to January 3rd, even though we know that it wasn't, and I press save. My Dropbox account can be accessed from any device using my username and password, which means that even if I was to lose my phone today, or my phone was to be dropped into a puddle of water and I wasn't able to retrieve what was on my phone, I would still be able to access all of these special photos and all of the layouts that I have created using any device. I could use Tim's device, I could use my home computer, I could use my parents' computer. It doesn't matter what device I'm on. I can log in and access what you can see on the screen in front of you. Now, for my Project Life layouts, I have them saved in the Project Life album, and I have different years set up. So I started saving these digital layouts back in 2015, and they go all the way to 2020, which I'm working on now. Up to January is complete. If I show you in 2019, let's choose May as an example. All my layouts from May are in here, and when I go to print them into the photo book, when I see that Blurb is having a special on their photo books, I know what order to put these pages because the numbers are the dates. So these photos are from the 28th of May. These photos here are from the 29th of May. So the numbers give me a clue of when the photos were taken. And if it looks something like this, 28 to the 2nd, that means that these photos were taken on the 28th of May, but there was already another 28th of May. So this is the second lot of photos from the 28th of May. And in this instance, we actually have a third lot of photos from the 28th of May. But I still know what order to put these photos into in the photo book, and I know when these photos were taken based on the numbers I have used to save the layouts into my Dropbox Project Life album. Once I've put photos into layouts, I'm normally pretty happy to remove the photo from my phone. However, there are those photos that have special meaning to me or that I want to keep for one reason or another, and those photos are stored in my memory folder. So if I click memories and go to photos in albums, I am able to find all our special family photos. Now, I've kept photos from my phone from 2017 when I started this, but if I was to go to 2019, I could see the sorts of photos that I wanted to keep. I didn't want to remove. They've been put into layouts, but for one reason or another, I wanted to keep these photos. So it's often special photos of the kids with the animals, or in this case, it was when we paid off our car. So whilst these photos have been put into layouts already, I decided that these were extra special photos that I wanted to keep as well. Just like our photos, we also have a system for our family videos. And inside Dropbox, I have an album purely for family videos that I want to look back over, or I feel like in a couple of years I might want to show the boys some memories. We have different albums for different years, and if I go into those years, I can find videos very quickly and easily. I do not believe that we are going to sit and watch every one of these family videos. So what I have done is I have also pieced together little snippets of every day into what is called 1 second every day. And I absolutely love this app. I've had it for years now. It is the second app at the top of my screen. And if I click on it, you will see that we are able to add videos as I choose to. Now, I used to do this every day. I do not do it every day anymore, but for yesterday as an example, I can go into my library, I can choose a video. So in this case it is of us walking the dogs, and I can choose whatever part of the video I want to use and add it into our little snippet for 1 second every day. Now I'm going to show you how cool this is. So I've put 766 snippets in here. The longest snippet streak where I added a snippet every single day was 138 days. And at the moment, our life movie goes for 21 minutes. Now, I became a member in July of last year, but I went back and added in videos from years before that, and all of those together add up to a 21-minute video. And I know for sure that we are going to watch this video over and over. Even once it gets to an hour long, I still think it is manageable for a family and really enjoyable to watch. And whilst I can't show you our whole family video, I'm going to show you a snippet of what it looks like when you piece together a second of every day. And that's it. That's what's worked best for me. I hope that throughout this video you are able to pick up a couple of tips or some new apps that you're able to try to see if it makes your photo storing and video storing that little bit easier. I believe that memory keeping is very important, and it's something that I want everyone to be able to look back on with their children and with their grandkids and reflect on the good times together. If you use any of the tips in this video, I would love you to tag me in your post. And of course, if you have any different ideas on how to sort photos and videos, I am all ears. I would love to share them with my community. I think that this is a really important topic, and I hope that it inspires you to tackle the photos on your phone today. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.